Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. I'm CmdrAleon, and it is a Wednesday night. Excuse me. And you're watching Encounters. So, welcome. And good to have to see everybody here. We'll be on here till about 1 a.m., 11 to 1, about 6 minutes after 11 here on Encounters, the top UFO, spiritual UFO talk show, busting the matrix all the time, 24 hours a day. But on from 11 to 2. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, everybody in there, out there, wherever you may be. Lawrence, Harvey, welcome. Salty Dog, Susan Mary, good to see you. Everybody, Daddy of Dylan, Whip, Cleo, thank you for the heart. Joey, hey, Joey, good to see you, brother. Birds and Flight, good evening. Pork Chop 6767, thank you for the follow. We appreciate that. Patrice O'Connor, welcome to Encounters. And if you're new to the show, I am CmdrAleon, the host of the show. Jared, good to see you, brother. And the show is been on for over 3 years, going into June of 2025. Thank you so much for the popular gift. Thank you so much for the heart me, everybody in here. Just really good to see you all. Kai, I think it's Kaya 930. Thanks for joining us. Judy Paul 300. Wherever you are in the world. Well, hey, Lucas Jackson. Good to see you, brother. Anybody who's out here, good to see everybody. Thank you for the heart me, Kimberly. We appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, Turk. Hey, Lavola. Good to see you, sister. Hope you're doing well. I know it's raining here in southern New England. We're getting a little bit of rain. Not heavy rain, but it's raining out. Frequency is everything. Good to see you, Kimberly. Thank you for the join the fan club gift. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We appreciate the gifts so much. Thank you. Ash, welcome, Ash. Good to see you. Zycorax, Christine, Sophie. Thank you, Sophie, for being here. Ray True Colors, welcome. Just welcome to everybody out there, wherever you may be. So if you're new to the show, this is a different kind of worldwide UFO show. We're not your nuts and bolts person. We don't, if people in the government come forward to our show and they want to tell the truth, great. But we're beyond just talking about, when is disclosure going to happen? When are the governments of the world going to tell us the truth? Because we've known that they have programs now that they've kept from the public that they're way, way ahead of where they ever have been for the last 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 years. And because we've been lied to, hey, Gary Haas, because we've been lied to by the world governments regarding this, and understand that whether it be the Department of Defense or any other government that's similar to the Department of Defense in England or any other country, they've all worked together to keep the truth away from the public. And anytime they disclose information, the Ministry of Defense or DOD or anybody else, they're not telling you the truth. But basically what they're doing is they're throwing some crumbs at the public and say, here's some information we've gathered for the last 70 years. And when in fact what they're showing us is absolutely nothing. And yes, I correct. And some of those TikToks are definitely ours. Not all of them, but there are reverse engineered TikToks. That's the terminology that the Department of Defense came up with. But let's go back when I was a kid. We didn't call them TikToks, but the real UFOs or the real TikToks or the real UFOs were the ones that were not from us, the ones that were extraterrestrial, the ones that were, from other planetary worlds, the ones that were from in our inner Earth, the oceans, or coming out of the mountains of volcanoes. Those would be ones that aren't us. But we have reverse engineered, whether we call them TikToks, UFOs, whatever, reverse engineered spaceships. We have those things. We know we have those things. Good evening, Anita. So I think you never know what I'm going to say or what I'm going to do here. You never know where I'm going to go. So you have to be on your toes here with me because you never know what's going to come out of my mouth in terms of information or what I understand in the history of this whole subject. But the fact of the matter is, the more and more things are described, the actual real objects, people, the public who have cameras are recording them. Some are recording reverse engineered spaceships. We have those. The United States probably has a good number of those reverse engineered spaceships. that when they go over an area, you'll know that they're not extraterrestrial, that they're ours. You'll know. You just know if you have a feeling of energy, you'll know those are probably ours. Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't matter, Schizo, whether it's him or anybody else. Hey, Bertha, Alicia. Hey, April, thank you for the, Gary, thank you for the roses. April, thank you for the heart. Good to see you all. And because I've been involved in this subject in my adult life for so long, oh yeah, I'm doing great, Christina. I hope you are too. I was looking at some video footage we might show tonight. So I think, hey, Anita, good to see you. So we are coming into an age where things are going to be switching up. People talk about the age of Aquarius. Now the more strict UFO people, the people that are very strict. User, am I a believer? I'm a contactee. So the reason why I believe they exist is because I've actually seen them on a spaceship when I was a kid. So I'm not so much whether I believe or not. It's the existence of what I've seen when I was a kid in the 60s that converted me to the understanding that we are being visited by people from other planets. And I have a very strong belief in that because my belief is based on my experience. I wouldn't know if I had a belief or not regarding the existence if I didn't have the experience. Some people have a belief that there's life elsewhere, have never had an experience, and that's good that they take a leap of faith in the belief that there are extraterrestrial intelligences that are way more advanced than our society here on the surface of our planet that exist elsewhere, and even within our planet, meaning within the depths of our planet, within our planet, the hollow earth. Agzilla, good to see you. Hey, let's see. And Holland, good evening. Accidentally Aligned. I like that name. Hey, Accidentally Aligned. So, with me, I don't look at prompts. I don't look at websites really. My understanding is from what I've seen and experienced, which leads me to my belief system. Alexia, good to see you. So, my belief system is based on my experience. Whether it was the spaceship I saw in Vermont back in the 70s up in Washington County, or whether it's the big spaceship I experienced in a cul-de-sac in New York and Long Island when I was a kid, or whether it was a big spaceship over north of Interstate 84 in Fairfield County to the north of Danbury, Connecticut back in the 80s. That had hieroglyphics on the spaceship. It was a golden ship rotating over the northern part, north of Brookfield, Connecticut, into New Milford. And I pulled off the road to a 7-Eleven off the highway service area. I had a two-way radio at the time, and I was saying, does anybody see that spaceship north of Interstate 84? I said, does anybody out there see it? Breaker, breaker, I said. Does anybody see that spaceship that's hovering? It was big. It was huge. And, there's a lot of, truck traffic. And I just had to pull over to the 7-Eleven and keep observing the spaceship for approximately about 20 or 30 minutes. And that one was amazing to me. It was rotating. It had symbols on it. And it was definitely huge. Thank you. So I've never told the in-depth stories of all my experiences, but I can tell people that because of my experiences, because of what I've seen, that's why I understand and believe the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence. Once you have that happen to you in your life multiple times, you do not go back and say, well, is there life elsewhere in the universe? Because the life in the universe is coming here. The life in the universe is here. And again, we do have reverse engineered technology, and we use it. We fly it when we want to. When we want to test it, we test it. And we might go over an area in a deserted area or a neighborhood up high in the sky going over a community and say, did you see that thing? And that is a reverse engineered object. Did anyone else see it when I was in off Interstate 84 in Danbury, Connecticut? I don't know. I'll never know. I mean, the thing was quite big, and I had to pull off the road, and the thing was just spinning. It was spinning like a, like a top. You know how a top spins? It looked like that, but it was huge, and it had a golden energy of light to it, and it had these hieroglyphics that were imprinted on this craft, and to me, am I ever scared? No, I wasn't scared. Unintentional visit. No, I wasn't scared. I mean, I didn't feel scared at all. I was like, I had said to myself, boy, if I had not been on the highway, I know the road, I would have went on Route 7 north to New Milford to try to get closer to the object because it was right there. This object was huge, you know. So the one thing about me and the whole UFO subject matter is because I've had a very deep understanding of this for many, many years, because of the experiences, I can speak the way I'm speaking because I've had those experiences. And all those experiences through my life, those were probably, I would say, that one and the other one in Connecticut I had, plus the one in Vermont. Those were probably the three biggest experiences I had. The one in Vermont was like a fiery red-orange object that was hovering north of my campus. And this student, myself, we're looking at it, and she says, "You want to go and check it out?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm kind of weirded out about it, but I knew where it was." And when we explored the area north of the campus, and we kind of figured where it was on a dirt country road where there were like country homes, like not like here, but like small homes. People lived there, and then there was like maybe a little lake or a little pond or something like, well, little in comparison to what. And we saw the area where this thing was, and it just hovered. We thought it was a helicopter, but it wasn't a helicopter because it had no helicopter noise. There was no noise whatsoever. The thing was just was moving, and then it stopped in midair, and there's no sound. This thing was just right there, and we knew. I mean, I knew instinctively that this thing was definitely a spaceship. The thing was like a fiery orange red. And yeah, I'll never forget it. I don't forget any of the sightings I've had. I can remember every single sighting for the most part, the ones that really impressed my consciousness, you know. So that's why I can speak and do a show like this, because I'm an experiencer. I'm not somebody just doing a show for hype or for ratings, or I don't care about the ratings. That's why I do what I do. Kimberly says, being that you're part of the astrogram, do you see any crafts above your home? I never see things around here because I'm in an area where we're almost to the downtown. People have reported sightings here in this region. I never see them. But when we do oh yeah, she's experienced sightings too, yeah. Yep. But we're going to be I'm going to be setting now that we're getting into June. I will set a date for our first CE5. I just have to work it out in my head what the date will be, and I'll promote it on here, and I will figure out where we're going to be doing it. We'll do our first C5 coming up pretty soon. That's where I hope to have some major activity, and I think we will. A C5 is contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. It's what Stephen Greer. How many of you have heard of Dr. Stephen Greer? Hey, Stallion. Hey, child of light, good to see you. So if you heard of Stephen Greer, Dr. Greer, who I interviewed back in the 90s, he was the one who created what they call the CE5, Contact with Extraterrestrial Intelligence. The Contact with Extraterrestrial Intelligence is a very important program. No matter what people think of Dr. Greer, he spearheaded the ability to have an application where anybody in the world, if they study the protocol and use the protocol that he's created, can actually potentially make visual contact with extraterrestrial intelligence of the positive kind. And you have Rachel has the C5, okay. So I would recommend everybody out there learn how to download the C5. It's very easy to download. Read the protocol. There's a protocol to making contact. And if you follow the protocol, you will, if you get like a couple of people together that are not skeptical, and you all come together and follow the protocol, no matter where you are in the world, I would guarantee about 98% of you will actually start having visual contact. Yeah, so Dr. Stephen Greer, the app is called the C5 app. On your applications on Apple and on your Android phones, it is listed there, and you can download it. I think it's like $10, and the app is really actually good. On the app, there's also a contact page where you can hook up with other people in your country, in your region, in your village who are also interested in C5. So that's the way to do it. And with the technology of the TikTok, being able to mention C5, you might have people in your own country watching my show right now, and you guys get together and get the C5 app. You can do, and thank you, Jordan, for the heart me. You can get together and practice C5. And I think if everybody does that, it'll make a big difference. You know, a very big difference. And you know what? Aliens aren't real, but extraterrestrials are. I've always said that aliens aren't real, truth. But you do know, truth, that extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, multidimensional intelligence does exist, correct? So you're with me that aliens are not real. That's a media word, but you do believe that there is extraterrestrial intelligence, correct? I know you do. There you go. See, and truth knows that I also, because the media has perpetuated the word alien so much, it's ridiculous. So when truth says that, it's true. The aliens do not exist. It's just a word. But multidimensional, light beings, star people, that exists. Aliens do not exist. Now, when people come in and say, what do you mean aliens don't exist? Because that's an educational moment. And I'm glad you're saying that, truth, because people need to learn the differences of what the reality is of the space people. I call them space people, multidimensional, because they come from many different dimensions, right? So therefore, space people live in many different dimensions. Yes, things out. Well, the firmament is basically a lie for many, people. It was created on the internet, and basically, if I had a spaceship and I wanted to just leave the Earth, and I had the right spaceship, and I had a spaceship like the space people do, I can come and go, out of the Earth orbit without any problem. The fact is, there are people that want us to believe there's this glass bubble around our planet, and that nobody can come here and no one can leave here. That thing was created. That idea was created to have people believe that there's no way you can go anywhere, when in fact you can go anywhere you want if you know how to get there. Star beings, yeah, you can believe that would be right. That actually would be right. Yeah, I don't believe there's firmament. The whole thing, truth, is the reason why that one word, I don't believe in it, is because somebody created it on the internet from the inception of the internet. Somebody out there said, we have this. But again, if I want to travel off planet and I'm sitting here and I want to go into a Merkaba state, and I physically leave my body in a Merkaba state, I'm sitting here to do my live, and I say, okay, I'll see you in about a while. I'm not going to hit my head against some glass bubble or glass wall to leave the Earth. It doesn't exist. That's the same thing when the Pentagon says, has told us nothing about the existence of life elsewhere, when in fact they had people believing them in the early days. People say, okay, oh, there must be nothing out there. They're telling us there's nothing out there. Why would anybody believe that we are trapped in a circular bubble that we can't get out of? That's where I bust the matrix. This is where I will tell people straight out, those that believe that we live in a firmament, or whatever you want to pronounce it. I always, from New England, pronounce it in a way. So basically, I'm saying is, it's a perpetuated lie. And that's the one thing. Once people understand that we've been lied to on many different levels, not just about the existence of having space beings or people come here from other planets, which they can every day, and they're doing it every day. Why is it that we live in a bubble? Why should we believe that we live in a bubble that we're trapped in? We're not trapped in anything. We're only trapped in the lies that we've been given through time, through the internet. And understand, websites that promote a specific thing, saying we cannot go leave the Earth because we're trapped in this bubble, are written by men or women or humans that created this synopsis that we cannot do this. Whoever wrote the thing about we're being in the firmament, doesn't mean that they're correct, whoever they are. It means somebody said, we're going to create this idea, put it on the internet years ago, and we're going to promote the idea. We're going to be very intelligent about it, very intellectual about it, and tell people, humans, you can't go anywhere. You cannot get anywhere. You're never going to go anywhere unless that thing disappears. It doesn't even exist. It only exists in people's belief systems. It exists in a belief system. It doesn't mean it's a reality. And I hear this, I've heard it for many years, including right here on TikTok, people arguing over whether that exists. On encounters, I've come straight out a long time ago saying it's a lie. Show me that we cannot leave this planet. Anybody want to just, if you had the ability now, show me that if I take off in my little spaceship and I want to leave the Earth, that I can't leave the Earth because there's a bubble blocking me from getting out of the atmosphere. There's nothing blocking us from anywhere. The only thing blocking us is our belief systems. Our belief systems block us. Our brain blocks us. When we're trying to expand our consciousness, our brain won't interfere and say, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to believe what you've been told on the internet. You got to believe all this stuff. You can't do that. You can't do anything. Not with this person here, man. I'm here to bust the matrix. And I'm here to bust the Fergament belief system. It does not exist. So if we all agree that extraterrestrial intelligence is coming to Earth, that space people can visit our planet, then there's nothing that is blocking their ships from coming and landing on a piece of land in a desert, in somebody's backyard. How could spaceships come here if there's something blocking them from coming to our planet? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody want to promote the idea that they can't come here? Try me for it. Advanced space people, light beings, star people, have the ability to go anywhere they wish to go, through a wormhole, to another galaxy, another dimension, another solar system. They don't have any blockage. The only thing blocking anything is our consciousness. If we're going to open up to the existence that there are star people and extraterrestrial beings, then why would there be a firmament? It contradicts our belief systems. You can't believe that there are space people that are more advanced than us that are coming here. How are they getting here if there's something blocking them? How are they getting here, coming to Earth? How come people are recording spaceships? I'm not talking about the reverse engineered spaceships. How are space people getting here? How are they landing in places, coming out of their spaceships, which have been documented in the last 70 years with the contactees from the 60s and the 50s? How did they do it? How did they do it? We have to we have to be consistent. If we're going to say, we cannot, we're in a bubble, we cannot go for a firmament that exists around our planet. This invisible firmament exists and we can't go past it. Well, if we can go past it, then extraterrestrial intelligence doesn't exist either. Then space people don't exist either. Then interdimensional beings don't exist either. Then multidimensional beings don't exist either. Then people that live in our Earth that are advanced, that are space people living in our oceans don't exist either. Either we do totally liberate ourselves in consciousness and say that there is no firmament and that everything exists, or it doesn't. Either it exists or it doesn't. So you have to make a choice. You have to make a choice. If you believe the scenario that there are space people, if you believe that you've been contacted by intelligent space people, and some of you are contactees out there, maybe of the people watching this, where did they come from? The space people that visited you physically on your farm, in your home, came through your wall, through an opening. Where did these people come from? How did they get here? Yeah, right, Lucas, right. So if there's a firmament, then meteors that are coming to try to hit through the Earth would be able to not get here because they'd be destroyed through the firmament. They wouldn't be able to get through it. So we have to be consistent in the subject matter. And that means, we're doing good, sometimes it's me. So these things that we have to be very, very clear about. If there is intelligence that has been documented coming to Earth, then there's nothing to block intelligence from coming to Earth. It just exists. Do other planets have a blockage to go to their planets? No. No planet does. I believe in all of what you just said over and ever. Thank you, Kimberly. And again, if people want to believe that this thing exists, hey, I'm not telling you what to believe. If that's your belief system, that's a belief system. But a belief system does not necessarily mean it's an existing system. I can have a belief that the traffic light does not exist, but it's right there. Oh, that traffic light doesn't exist. But 10 other people see it, but it does. It's just actually there. So as we move forward, yeah, Ashley says that's like they believe of that God is in the sky. Yeah. And if you believe in the existence of life elsewhere, then there are people that come in here over 3 years. They'll say there is no God. And my counter thing to them is, on a non-3D level, is that the fact is God created every single life form in the multiverse. God is not he or she or it. God is just God. God is like the light, the beacon of light, the beacon of life. If you were able to meet your star family or talk to a space being from another world, they don't have the same belief systems that we have on Earth. Our belief systems are based on programmed lies that we've been told in the last 70 years in our current lifetime. If you talk to a space person, or if you ever meet a space person, take it correct. Source, God, the Creator, all the same thing. Hey, Maddie, good to see you. So I always will bust the 3D system, as well as to the people that think they're enlightened and say that God doesn't exist. How do you think all the planets got here? How do you think all the different space beings from different planets got here? Who do you think created them? Now, the biggest excuse that I've seen in my years of research, the biggest excuse is that we were created by them. The people that say we were created by extraterrestrial intelligence will never admit that there is a creator that created every single life form and every single planet, every single universe, every single thing out there in the sky. They can't do it. They have a hard time even accepting the fact that maybe we were created by a higher intelligence, which is the creator. The indigenous tribes call it the Great Spirit. We call it the creator. If you're whatever your thing is, it could be God. But the thing is, it's all semantics. It's all the same thing. Space people don't have a separation from the creator. We on Earth have different perceptions of reality about the creator. Our perceptions are all different. We have billions of people. Of course, there's going to be different perceptions of reality, of the existence of the creator. The creator didn't create a firmament and say, okay, on Earth, we're going to quarantine you from being able to go anywhere, and we're going to create this firmament around your planet, right? Yeah, we are, in a way. Yeah, Bobby B, absolutely correct. So we've lived many lifetimes. And when we use the word starseed people, the starseed are people that have been to different places before. So when you're a starseed on Earth and you say, I remember coming from the Andromeda star system, you do remember. We don't live just one lifetime. We live many different lives on many different worlds in many different time frames. So now if I'm getting into that, and man, now my consciousness is really getting into that here on Encounters, and I think that we've lived many different star lives on many different planetary systems, that opens up another big box. Now that I think about it, then I say to myself, should I just said this? Now I just thought about this. Is it possibly something that we've done? We know that we're starseed and we came from a cosmic origin beyond Earth. But then the question comes, I've blown another question in the Pandora's box. Have we lived many different star system lifetimes and other planetary systems many times over? Have we recycled to many different levels of consciousness over and over and over? And if I start thinking that way, it's going to make it real hard to live on a planet when you start thinking beyond the realm of understanding of what we already exist as. you know? So now I'm going into a question in my own consciousness regarding that. Now, I know I'm starseed. I know many of you know you're a starseed. Some of you are just waking up to the word starseed or whatever. But the fact is, now I'm pondering a thought here now that we don't only just live one starseed lifetime coming to one planet, and this is our only existence, that we might have been on other planets through different lifetimes, galactically speaking, going to different planets, helping other people on other planets. Now we're on Earth helping the planet Earth and the people living on it. So now I just open a little Pandora's cosmic box here that I'm not going to let go of for a while in my head. And maybe that's going to make people think. You see, that's what happens when you wake up. That's what happens. When you wake up, you realize a number of things. Once you wake up, you can't turn back. You know, if you say, "So, boy, I wish I could go back to being unconscious and not knowing anything about anything, just being a regular human being." But you can't go back to being a regular human being when you also know what's going on and you wake up. When that switch is turned on, brothers and sisters, there's no turning back. You know it. You understand that. You cannot go backwards. You can only go forwards. Hey, Loretta says, why won't more of us help and not hurt others? Because the majority of the planet over, we're talking billions of years now, not just our current lifetime. We've had many different conscious conflicts within consciousness about who we are as planetary system of Earth. It's hard to say why, but I think we are the way showers. Those that are here, like yourself and others, we are here to wake people up. We're here on this UFO program to bust the system wide open of consciousness. Because if we can't bust the system of consciousness open, brothers and sisters, we can't change anything. I don't care about busting the system of a nuts and bolt thing on a metallic object. I can care less about the nuts. Where did the bolts come from? Where did that thing come from inside the spaceship? Who cares? If that's the ultimate thing that we're looking for is to see how to operate a spaceship, then we're not expanding our consciousness. Spaceship really doesn't matter. What matters is who's coming here in the spaceship. What matters is who is the one that is communicating with us. Who are they? Where are they? Where are they from? That's more exciting and more interesting than to know, oh, there's a spaceship and I want to know what the material is. Now, if you were a person in the Department of Defense and you captured a spaceship, you're more interested in the technology. They don't care about the intelligence. All they want to do is get the technology. Yeah, we're all going to need each other. That's right. And that's the thing, like I say, you never know where I'm going to go here. I don't read a teleprompter and I'm looking at a website of some well-known person and what they said. Everything I present here is my own consciousness. That's the only way I want to do it. I don't want to present somebody else's written material on the internet when I can speak for myself. I don't need to read some well-known author of a book. As I said before, we are the book. We are the chapters of consciousness, of cosmic understanding. We are the ones. And by waking up to what we know and all the things I'm saying right now, we have the ability to move mountains. We do. Speaking of mountains, we need a little bit of apple cider. After talking so much, sometimes you need to drink, well, for me anyway, apple cider. Thank you, Jackie Hillman. So I like to sometimes stir the kettle. I like to stir people's consciousness up. I like to shake people up. I like to get on here at times and just shake everybody else up on TikTok in the subject. Because there's different UFO discussions here. People have different belief systems, which is fine. That's a free will universe. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? Yes. So at all these revelations and all these people that are out there going into the subject heavy in the current lifetime that we live in, Yeah, I'm here to make people think. I want people that are scanning TikTok. I know you're out there because I'm one of them. You're scanning right now, going by the show. You're seeing it says CmdrAleon, that's live. You're just going by and you're saying, what's that about? But why don't you come on in here, TikTokers, and you'll be glued to this show. If you're willing to step in here for at least 2 minutes, you won't want to leave. And also, please invite people, invite anybody you wish that is consciously awakened enough to want to hear what we're saying, what we're talking about, the interviews we do with people. We do a lot of interviews, but many times I don't always speak and talk my own talk here with you. I usually interview people. But tonight, for at least right now, I'm in the mode to talk and tell you what I think. Right? Hey, Sassy Lassie, thank you for the share. Please tap and like. We're at 22.9. Just to let you know, if you don't tap on the screen and look at the top, it's not going to move. So it takes every person to make that happen. Collectively speaking, everybody. Hey, Mike Truth, good to see you. Blessings to you. B, and let's see, Harrogate or something, Gate. Cousin doesn't believe. He'll believe when the spaceship shows up in front of your house. No worries. He has plenty of time to get there. John J. Puff, welcome. So, we're at a point in our history. Hey, Acid TV, good to see you, brother. Thomas says, must be cheesesteak. How you doing, Thomas? Adam, thank you for the share. Summer, Ash, thanks for coming back in. Elvira, good to have you with us here. How do you know if you're awake or you're watching my show? One simple answer, Elvira. You've been watching the show for a while, so if you're watching my show, you're awake. You're definitely awake. Ashley Edmond, thank you for the share. Brian Blackman. Hey, Kit Kat, good to see you, sister. Carrie Berry, Jess Strong, I'm just looking at some of the people. Conscious Vibration, good to see you. So, we need to move forward in this community. Jules, you'll get there. Hey, sister. Hey, Jules, good to see you. You'll get there. I know you will. And, there's no rush to meeting your star family. When it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Hey, Kazoo, thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. Thank you for the sharing, Acid TV. Everybody out there, we appreciate you so much. Francis Bryant, Conscious Vibration, thank you for the roses. It's just a matter of, that's right. Patience is a virtue, as the old saying goes. I'm in a rush, ha ha ha. Hey, Jackie. So, Sassy Lassie says, I met my Blue Avian Star family. So, Sassy Lassie, let's see here, Sassy Lassie. Let me bring you up here. And you can share what that's like to meet your star family with people that might not have met their star family. There's a lot of people here that want to meet their star family. So if you can, hey, Sassy Lassie, how you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And you're one of the people that has met their Blue Avian star family. There's a lot of people out here that are saying they wish they could meet their star family. And maybe a good way to educate people is tell your story for people that have not met a star family. And how did that actually happen with you? Would you like to come on camera?
Yes, but I don't know how.
I just press the camera button. You'll see it popping up.
Here
Press
I am.
save, and you
just
press the save.
But here I am.
Yeah. Well, press the save button, and it'll hook you up on the screen. There you go.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. So see, you're fine. You're beautiful as it is. So don't worry about it. All natural is the best way to be. So tell us about your history, Sassy Lassie, and because a lot of people are saying, I want to meet my star family. They always tell me this on the show. How did you and when did you meet your star family?
Well, this was probably about a month and a half ago. I was like in a semi-conscious kind of a state before I was going to sleep. I was just, almost going to sleep. And then all of a sudden, I saw it was, not human, and it was blue, and I thought maybe it was Anunnaki. I didn't know. My sister sent me a picture of what she thought I was describing, but what happened was when he came into my consciousness, and as soon as we locked eyes, he smiled. It was like a alien smile, but it was a smile, and then just disappeared
Wow.
out of my consciousness. And I didn't know exactly what to think of it. And I watched this lady. She's a channeler on TikTok, and I've been watching her for a long time. And I really, I'm very skeptical about channelers, but not her. I have just have a lot of faith in her, and I asked her for a private reading. And so she was talking to my spirit guides, and she said, I told her, I said, I think I was visited by my star family. She goes, yes, you are a star seed. And my spirit guides are telling me that it's not Anunnaki. In fact, this person, this blue avian, came forward and talked to her and said, no, Brenda she learned her healing from us. She was one of us for many, many lifetimes. And she was a blue avian for many lifetimes. And that's where she learned to heal, because I thought I learned to heal in Egypt. And
Okay.
I do have a strong tie to Egypt, many, many lifetimes there as well. But it was so wonderful to find out who they were, blue avians.
Yeah.
I had never heard of them, and so now, of course, I've researched a lot about them. But it was thrilling to actually. I felt like I saw him in person, because
Oh,
it was
wow.
just so very real.
Can you tell us what blue avians look like for people that might have heard the word blue avian? I've heard of it. I know of it. But what do they physically look like compared to us?
Well, what first came to my mind was a kid show, like Puff the Magic Dragon or something. The purple,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you know, it looks similar. It had a similar look to that,
Hmm.
only very intelligent.
Yeah,
A very intelligent look, but it didn't look, not human in any way.
yeah.
Kind of a long, almost a reptilian kind of face,
Hmm.
and then some kind of I don't know if it's mane. It was kind of like mane, only kind of bumps
Hmm.
along the back of him.
Hmm.
It was kind of standing to the side a little bit.
Hmm.
It's hard to describe, but blue,
Blue. Yeah.
yeah.
So they have a blue. Is it like a light blue color, like a neon blue or radiating blue, or how would you describe it?
Like your shirt, like a bright kind of a blue, like the blue on your shirt,
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there.
That's pretty
Similar
cool.
to
Blue.
similar to
Yeah.
that, very blue. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
And did
wanted
you?
to tell you that. I've been wanting to tell you that ever since it happened, just to see
Wow.
if you had seen
Well, but
them.
I would have never known to bring you up if you didn't say that in the comments.
I
That's how I
know.
learned.
Well, I just didn't know, what to really do about it. But because you bring a lot of people up, and I don't want to interrupt anybody. And
But you're just as important as everybody else, so you're equal. Everyone here is equal. There's no one, everyone, no matter what their experiences are. I always love the stories because this is what disclosure is. It's when you tell a story, it's another part of the puzzle being disclosed to the public. We don't need to wait for some government agency to tell us who exists. They exist. You had the experience with the blue avian. I
yeah,
think that is educating our viewers here that there are people here like yourself. When we think about higher intelligent beings coming to us, it doesn't mean they have to come knocking on our door. They can come through our consciousness.
mhm.
And people have to realize, oh, you only had to come through your consciousness. That doesn't mean it's real. Yes, it does, because we are not at the level of consciousness they are. They can come and transform into our consciousness and communicate with us in a dream state. They can visualize and show us what their planet looks like in a dream. But it's not really a dream. They're coming and communicating with you inside your consciousness. That's
Yeah,
something humans have to understand, right?
Yeah, and Mel, the lady who was channeling for me, um, she said, I said, well, it was like he was just kind of checking me out. She said, no, he wanted you to see him. He wanted you to know that he's there. And
Yeah.
he, probably, I don't know anything else, but that's what she told me. Yeah.
Yeah, and the feeling of the knowledge that you have, the things that you can physically do in your awakened consciousness as a human form. Did you feel a lot of the blue avians? I always have heard things about how much they operate in a very high frequency of love. No matter what they look like, the blue avians are here to assist. They're part of the galactic grouping of beings that are here to assist individuals and our planet. Correct?
Yeah. And, I wasn't afraid. I have seen things that did scare me, but
Hmm.
um, but I wasn't afraid at all. I felt very, it was just so cool to lock eyes with him. I don't know how I know it's a him, but it was a him, and
Hmm.
and then for him to smile, and then just gone. It was
Yeah.
just. I mean, I was like, it took my breath away.
Yeah. And have you, it seems like, and I feel that I read energy, as you know, you've watched my show long enough. I do read energy when I hear stories. That's the one thing I've been gifted with most of my life, but I never used it until I started doing this. But I feel that you are going to have more physical experiences than the one you just told me about. I think that I get the feeling that you're going to have something. I almost feel like you already know this, that you're going to have something more physical, meaning I've had people on here that had physical beings come into their room from other planets. Have you felt that you're going to have that experience soon? Because I feel that just talking to you.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
I kind of keep looking and always looking up and are you up there? You can come and talk to me. You can come.
yeah,
I'm not afraid of you,
yeah,
Especially now that I know who it is, you
yeah. Now
know.
you know who it is. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
you can actually make that happen. I'm getting information. So, sometimes I just like, I'm being given information. I'm sitting here and I hear the information and it's like my whole body's electrified right now because I know what's happening. And actually, I'm being told that you could actually have that occur whenever you wish to. So here's what I'm being told, and you can try it out. I don't know when it's going to happen, but if you wish to make contact physically with the Blue Avians, all you have to do is be specific about it. So let's say you choose a day or night. I don't know if you're in an urban area, a suburban area, a rural area. I don't know, but if you ask them, say, "Thank you for visiting me in my conscious state. I am now not afraid. I know who you are. I know that because you look different doesn't mean anything to me. Will you please come and interact with me? You might say, can you please show me your ship one night? And then let's start with a visual contact so we get to know each other. And then let's plan on having, and say to them, I agree, let's plan on having an interaction physically where I invite you here, whether you stay here for 5 minutes in my home or 10 minutes and then go back on your ship. That's up to you. But let's have a interactive beautiful experience together. And I would say the one thing I'd ask tonight when you go to sleep is ask the Blue Avian what their name is because you don't know their name yet. But they obviously then know who you are. They definitely know you. You can
Mhm.
ask the Blue Avian, what is your name? May I please have your name? And let me know what happens. Now this could happen. We don't operate in the same frequency they do, so they operate without any time. Here we operate in time, so it doesn't matter what time they or what day they chose to do it or what night they choose to do it. They hear your voice internally through telepathy,
Mhm.
communicate telepathy wise. They'll hear it, and I think you're going to have some at some point. I think you are going to have that physical contact. These
I
are just things that are popping into my head
also,
here.
I'm excited
Yeah, I
about it.
am too. I am too. Hey, Sassy, thank you so much. I appreciate the story. I can't wait to see in the future what you tell me. I know something's going to happen, though. It's all good.
I'll get back to you about it.
All right, Sassy. Everyone, let's
Thank you.
just thank Sassy for sharing the Blue Avian story. And we're going to bring Sassy down gently here. So this is one of those things. When I interview people, I get messages and information. and I know she's going to have physical contact. That was just the beginning in her story. That's just the beginning of what she's going to have. It's great. It is a great story. She is going to have. She's going to have physical contact at some point. And welcome to Encounters. And this is why our show is different from every other so-called UFO thing on the YouTube or whatever. This is what makes our show what it is. You know. And if you've had contact either through inner consciousness with your star family, I want to know the story. It's just as important and just as real as the person who's having contact with a spaceship landing and the space people coming out. You know? Yeah. I'm ready for contact too. I've been asking for a long time now, Lynn. And I'm going to just randomly bring people up here. No one ever knows when I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring Lynn up, and I feel there's something I can communicate with Lynn about. And the person here, I think, I don't even want to mess up the name here. And let me see. I'm going to be very random here, but I'm just looking at people's comments. So, have any of you, I know some people might be shy about talking about these things, and you're just trying to get a feel for the show, but don't be afraid to come up here. Um, who else that have never had, hey, Lavola, welcome back, Lavola. I didn't know you disappeared. Who here has had either physical contact with a star being physically that has not been on the show, that has not been on the live here? Don't amplify. Hey, Ellis, good to see you. I find this. Thank you. I like that name. I have the feeling when I see names like that, the person obviously has an understanding of the subject. I might just bring that person up just to see what they know. Let's see, flying disc. This is what I love doing here. And let me see, flying disc. Have you had any experiences? I love the name. Thank you for the heart too, by the way. Love the little icon on your photo. Me, I've been visited by time travelers twice and seen. Here's somebody. We're gonna bring that person up here. I love everybody out here because you all have interesting things to talk about. I think it's Fredericks. Fredericks, come on up, brother. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. I'm the number one spiritual talk show here on social media. And I read comments, folks, and that's how I find out where people are at, Hey, good to see you, Fredericks. Welcome to Encounters.
What's up, Commander
We're doing
Leon?
good. We're doing very good. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
You know, and we love people to hear other people's stories, give them a little education about the fact that everyone out there is having some experience. And you just mentioned that I've been visited by time travelers twice. Let's talk about that. Can you come on camera? I'm going to press my camera button here. If you just press save, you'll be right on camera. It should pop up any second now. Or did I not press the button here? Let's see. Yeah, it should come out now. I just pressed it. Oh, there you are. Okay, as long as you're not naked, we're good. Else I'll be in trouble here. So, you have had you've had visited twice with time travelers. Okay,
Yeah.
tell our audience about what that's like, because I've studied the time traveler thing for a lot of years. I haven't talked about it much. What is that like, and how does somebody, a time traveler, contact you? So, because I've heard people talking about this lately, and it's fascinating. When did that happen to you? When did that happen?
So the first time I got visited by the time travelers, well, a time traveler was when I was 15, and I remember when I was sitting on the bed when I was about to, pew pew, uh, a time traveler appeared in the room behind me, and uh Like he basically stopped me from committing suicide. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, we'll get into that too heavily. But the time traveler came from another time period. How did the time traveler know it to come to you versus millions of other people on our planet? We have millions of people, billions of people. So did he say where he came from? What planet did he come from? Did he come from our planet, another time zone, or how does that work?
No, he didn't say anything to me. Uh, I remember I asked him. I was like, "Are you God?" And as soon as I said that, he like disappeared.
He disappeared. So he didn't stay long enough for you as a human being on Earth to get an answer specifically, you know, like, are you this, or where'd you come from? How'd you get here? Are you from a future Earth reality? Are you from a past Earth reality? So it's interesting because I've been studying the time travel experience. There's some people on TikTok that have created videos, a few of them, that saying they came from another time. They time travel. There's some people on here that say they can time travel that are physically here in this particular realm. And I'm not sure how much you've studied time traveling. Have you studied it? Have you studied that whole subject at all since that happened to you? No. And you said you were visited by the Zeta. Some people on Earth use the terminology gray, but you say you were visited by Zeta. When did that happen?
Uh, so the first time I saw like aliens in person was with my friend Simon when I was 15, and I remember we were sitting in Simon's shed, and after we left Simon's shed, uh, we were walking in between his house, and I could sense something behind me, and I turned around, and there was a gray alien, like a flathead gray alien, and I remember after me and Simon were staring at the gray, it started like shape shifting, and then it
Mm-hmm.
like showed us the spirits of like people we know, and
Hmm. So this Zeta was able to shapeshift and show you people you knew. That's a story I've never heard before with the Zeta. The Zeta normally are beings that abduct human beings, and I've interviewed many people who are abductees. So when this Zeta appeared to you, um, how long did that actually exist? The interaction with you and the Zeta that was shapeshifting with your friend.
um I remember we saw the flathead alien, then then we saw like a turtle alien. Then we saw like it looked like monks, like people in orange robes. And then we started seeing people we know, spirits. Then uh after that, a tall gray uh came out from behind the bushes, and like it like showed its face to me and Simon, and me and Simon both ran away from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you ran away from it, did you go back to your homes, your houses where your parents were? What'd you do?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure me and Simon ran back inside.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't. So and the aliens don't really exist. That's just a word that the media uses. But the Zeta, the tall Zeta, and the shapeshifter, they didn't. Obviously, the two of you at that age, they didn't. I've heard of people being abducted. You never got abducted. You got away from the Zeta and ran away from them. Correct? In that sense, good for you for doing that because in many cases they do. They've not been known to try to do anything other than abduct human beings. And a lot of the stories I've heard are teenagers, mothers, other grown adults. They've, over many years, there are books about the experiences. People like Bud Hopkins, who I knew before he died, who's a real well known hypnotist. hypnotist. He interviewed and dealt with people that were abducted for many, many years. Also, Dr. John Mack, who was from Harvard University, had group sessions with people that were abductees. So you're lucky. You're one of the lucky ones that you never got abducted. So in your adult life now, have you had any recurring experiences with the Zeta or not?
Yeah, I got visited by by a by a gray like 3.5 years ago.
Hmm. And how old are you now?
22.
Okay, you're 22 now. Okay. So as a young adult, so 3 years ago they came back. Was it the same group of Zeta or was it a different group of Zeta?
No, it was a different gray. I don't think it was a hostile species though. I don't know. It could have been because the grays are weird. You never know with them.
Yeah, well, a lot of them, well, the Zeta, which are the Greys in terms of this, they're the same thing. A lot of them have abducted people. There might be some different groupings that might not do that. So you might have ran into that specific group of Zeta, but most of the Zeta are, uh, you know, are that. All right, there, Frederick. So I want to thank you for coming up, man, and sharing your story. And every story is different, so yours is also. I want to thank you, and certainly keep watching our show here on Encounters. All right, that was Frederick, and I just, you know, I have no idea with that one. That was kind of an interesting situation, to hear that story. I hear the stories, so there you go. Now, close my eyes, and the gray was in front of me, telling me the world was ending. Huh? And on my show, understand, we're going to get many different stories here, and that's why it's interesting. And Frederick, thank you. Everyone's story is different than the next, and that's a good thing. Yeah, and our show is definitely recorded. No, it's not recorded now. It is being recorded, and you'll get to watch all the interviews we have on the show, all the things I talk about here on Encounters. Rita Lynn, welcome. And that's what I mean. Some people have had these experiences when they're kids, and it is interesting. Anyway, if you've had any experiences with higher intelligence, not necessarily Zeta, but if you've had experiences, like I said, I think, hey, King Trinity, we're glad to have you with us. Good to have you with us here. Hey, Oregon. Hey, Joey Boy, welcome. Wilma Pritchett, welcome. Also, Half Pint, good to see you. I do see you out there. So the reality is that there are many different experiences. Leslie, there are many different people having experiences. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. So I think there's someone. Thank you. I think there's so many people having experiences in different ways, and again, that's what we look at the whole book of experiences, and it's a conscious book. The world is not going to end, so far as I know. And really, you know what? The world is not going to end. So if we talk about the world ending, which some people do, or if a species like the Zeta say the world's going to end, well, the Zeta messed up their planets a long, long time ago. So if they come to somebody on Earth and say your planet's going to end, our planet's not going to end. The Zeta messed up their own worlds, and they're going to tell us our planet's going to end when our planet is not ending at all. We do have problems on Earth, but our planet is not coming to an end. We're going to be having direct contact with positive space people, our star family. The Zeta, any Zeta that says that to a human being has no idea what they're talking about. So don't even believe the Zeta that tells you that. And we're at 38.3. Let's get up to 100,000. If everyone can start tapping. You see the numbers on the top of the screen, 38.4, where the little logo is? If you don't tap on the camera here with the little hats and all that kind of stuff, the hearts coming up, that brings up the numbers. So when you tap on the screen, you're making it go up, up, and up. So if everybody taps with 237 people here, we can get it up, And we are, Greta, we are messing up. Hey, King Trinity, thank you. And Jules, yes, you can. I don't know if you want. You definitely can. If you want to come up, Jules, you can. Or you want to just say it in the comments, you can. Can I tell you something? Absolutely. Up to you. Latch 650, welcome. So, I also, why I'm here, we're going to get into some UFO footage here. Let me see. Let me get here. And we'll get to one of the sightings. This is supposedly a new recording. Let's see. Ah, now according to this, May 25th, take a look at this. This is another orb. You're going to love this. Let me see here. We're going to show you this video. This is coming from in Colombia and the countryside, May 25th, near San Vicente del Caglian, Colombia, 2:17 p.m. in the afternoon. Thank you for the gifts. Let me see here. Susan, thank you for the finger heart. I'm going to definitely show this footage. This is really interesting. Let me see if I can. Okay, I'm going to show this in a second here. Check this out. We're going to go to some UFO footage here on encounters. In Colombia, a lot of stuff's going on. I thought this was a repeat. No, this is a new video in the countryside of Colombia. So we're going to show this to everybody. And I hope you enjoy this segment. Let me see if I can show this to you here. Okay, here it is right here. Wait a minute. Here we go. Check this out. This is another sphere in Colombia. This is not the one that was a few weeks ago. This is a new one coming out of Colombia, May 25th in the rural area. Check this out. Watch this thing. Look how it's moving. This is the kind of stuff that is amazing. Okay, let's see here. And this is a brand new video, May 25th out of Colombia. Watch this. Look how fast that thing's moving. Okay, I'm going to show you in a few minutes another video. Let me get it here. Let me get the other video here. And we have some more video footage, video news here. Oh, this is a large one, so let me go to the next video. And let me see. We're going to go to a Hawaiian thing here. Let me see here. This is lights over Brazil. Well, I think I've shown this one already. Let's see here. Ah. Okay, so I'm going to show you this video. This footage comes from the 24th of May near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. It's a very short video. I showed this yesterday, but I'll show it again for people that might have missed it. This is, again, I'm going to show you this video from near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base at night, May 25th. You know where Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is. I'm going to show you a few videos here. This is near the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, recorded by a civilian outside of the base area. And this particular object is near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, May 24th. I believe it is May 24th. Yeah, 10 p.m. Oops. We're going to get some more footage here. Give me a second here. I think that's so that's the latest. That's the latest good stuff that we actually can show you tonight. There'll be more coming. I'm always seeking people with good video footage on UFO videos. Let me see here. Okay. And let me see what I got in queue here. Hey, Jules. We're going to bring Jules up. She's been a guest before on the show. And let's welcome Jules. Hey, Jules. How
Hi.
you doing? How
Hey,
are you?
I'm doing good. I was wondering if I could ask my star family if they could visit me physically instead of a dream.
Yeah, you want to know how to do that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I have given people suggestions how to do that. So, as you ask the question, and let me see, and again, if you want to come up on screen, you can. I'll press the little button
Um,
here.
I probably not because
It's up to you.
It's dark
Oh, dark.
here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, forget it. If it's dark, don't worry about it. Well, we can see you from the picture. So, on your question about that, the one thing to do is when you go to sleep at night, and King Trinity, thank you for the gifts. When you go to sleep at night, the best way to do that is to simply putting that suggestion into your consciousness. So, like, for example, let's say I was right now sitting in my bedroom getting ready to go to sleep. And I'm saying
Yeah.
to myself, I really, really, really want to meet my Christed Star family. The way I would suggest for people to do this, not just for you, but other people that are hearing this, is to put the intention forth. Meaning, I'm going to put this intention forth. I really want this to occur. I really want this to happen. So how do you make it happen? With intention. Everything has an intention in life. If you don't put the intention there, it doesn't happen without the intention. So when you
Yeah,
have a good intention of doing it, you say to yourself, okay, you close your eyes, you say, okay, I'm going to be going to sleep, but I want to, and you say within your consciousness, like you're closing your eyes, you say telepathically, I wish to meet my Christed Star family. Always use the word Christed Star family. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're from. Can you please make contact with me and let me know telepathically through consciousness if that is possible? You can put in your own words. You don't have to use my words. But as you put it in your words, I think that you'll be able to do it. Now, whether it happens tonight or next week or in the morning, there's no set time. It's going to be a practice. So it's just like meditation. When you say Om or you, you're practicing the intention of contact. And I
Oh,
truly believe that you can do this. And not just for you. I think other people that want to have contact with their star family can also attempt to do this through meditation, to facilitate telecommunications through telepathy. And through telepathy, you are able to get your conscious words out into space to your star family, whoever they are.
okay, I will definitely try that. Thank
Does that
you.
sound logically something that you can do?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you
And I
so
think,
much.
well, you thank you for asking that question, because I'm sure there's a lot of other people listening that want to do this, but you had the ability to come up and ask the question. I think that that is possible for everybody to do that if they so choose and have the intention.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hey, Jules, thank you again. You always are been a great guest. I appreciate you, and we'll let you down to watch the show. Thanks for the question.
I thank you.
All right, you're very welcome. Let me just do this here. And Jules has been on the show before. She's a great person. We definitely love her. She's a good person. And I think the suggestion I give will help a lot of people connect with their star family should you choose to do it. I like to be proactive. You know, hey Linda, good to see you. You know, it's one thing to talk about the fact that they exist, but to say that they exist is also that you exist. If they exist, you exist, and we both exist, then there's no reason why we couldn't have contact. And I would suggest people try to make contact. If you've never done it, if you know you have a star family, you're saying, why am I not making contact? Why are they not visiting me? Um, no, I didn't read your comments, but I'm going to bring you up here because I didn't read your comments. I'm like been so focused on a lot of things here, the videos. So we're going to see if Half Pint, if they're on Earth and they're not on the Anunnaki spaceship, if Mary can come up here, up in the great state of Pennsylvania, in the Appalachian Mountains. Let's see what the comments are. Let's see. Maybe if I go backwards, I can see their comments. Let's see. I'm now going backwards, and let's see. Where is the comment? Oh, Commander, your family says they love you and are proud of you. Oh, okay, I did see that. Thank you. Oh, here's a new person I've never talked to before. I want to invite this new person. Her name is Mary, and she has a partner named Ray. And these folks, I just met them. We just met again. Hey, nice to meet you.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. Did you get my comment?
Yes, I had to go scrolling backwards, and I did see the comment. You
Okay.
know, and
They
that's a
just popped
beautiful.
in and popped out.
Oh yeah, that's what they do. You know, they never stay in one place.
Yeah.
Well, how could they? They're in space. But they'll be popping in more often when contact happens, and I have that reunion. I'm going to give my star family a big hug. And my arms are just so long, I can reach out to the whole universe.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you feel the same way about your star family. You know, you just want to reach out and hug the Anunnaki people that you're connected with. You know, it's a good thing. And so, you know,
Oh
things are
yeah.
really happening in so many ways. We talked about so many different things tonight. Hey, Matt Noble, good to see you. Hey, Carlos. Um, it's just a beautiful thing to realize we're now getting into June of this year. We're moving forward, right, in terms of the year that we're in on Earth. And as we move forward, more things are increasing, happening to us, right? And I think you're frozen. Yeah, you are frozen.
I might be.
You know, your smile is just
It's the
frozen
room
there.
I'm
So
in.
I'm looking at you. Yeah, because you had this big smile and it just said smiling. And I'm saying, she is smiling the longest smile I've ever seen on my show. She's a happy camper. But no, all this
Yep.
stuff is happening. And we all realize things are happening with us. And just seeing this new orb, this new metallic orb in Colombia, in this rural area, that's the second orb that's now appearing in Colombia. I find that interesting. They got the first one, Jamie Musan,
It's
who
gonna happen a
is
lot.
in, yeah, and
It's
you
gonna
know,
happen a lot more. So So I'm hearing like parades of stuff people are going to start seeing.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it has
keep
to start.
looking
It's starting.
because
Yeah, yeah. And don't you believe that it's going to start happening because we're getting close? I mean, I want to enjoy every day. Don't get me wrong. I don't want summer to disappear and 2026. Oh, it's 2026. Here they are. No, I want to enjoy every single day I'm out there in my garden, growing my stuff, enjoying life, my family. The same thing for you. So,
yeah,
but we know that something is changing now. Now the next step is happening. I think the space beings are saying we're going to send these orbs down in like rural areas where it's safe to do this so that governments don't take it and that some rural person finds this orb, if it does land, that the right people will find it. Um, and it's not just going to happen in Colombia, South America, it will be happening all over the world.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going on. You know, and the intelligences are doing this on purpose to get us to start thinking out of the box. So they'll send us things in a rural area. Some country person says, "Did you see that?" in their own language. They never see anything like that. So regular people are going to start seeing these things that had no interest in the subject, and they're having these things happen. What better way
Yeah.
to wake up humanity than to not send it to people that already are awake, but to send it to people that aren't awake? It makes
Right?
perfect sense, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. And we're almost at 70,000. I'm multitasking here. Everybody, please continue tapping. Look at the top corner of my screen. It says 69.4. Every tap counts as a higher number. So if you don't tap, it doesn't go up. You have to physically tap it. The numbers don't go up like magically. It's not like some advanced system that does its own thing. You have to make it happen, folks. And that
So
goes with everything, right? Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So for those that are awake probably a little more than me, did you guys have this thing about going around and telling people that they have angels with them, or is that just me?
So what Mary wants to know is she just getting this thing that they have angels going around them, or do other people out there, have you had that experience of being told there are angels going around you? Is that the question?
Yeah, like them telling people that they have them around them.
Yeah.
Like,
So
am I the only one that's doing that?
right. So you're saying that the angels are coming to you and saying they are here.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to translate that correctly. So what Mary's saying is, have you had angels coming to you saying that they are here with you in your room? To be more specific.
Yeah,
James says
because so every time I go out, right, I run into 3 or 4 different, totally complete different people, and I'm pulled to them to let them know that they're okay, that whatever they're worried about is going to go away, and that they
Mhm.
have angels with them. Now, am I the only one that's been going through that, or has there been other people doing that?
Right. So you're actually saying that you're going up to people and you're saying that you feel the presence of angels around them, correct? Ah,
Correct.
okay. So what Mary's saying is, and I'm not trying to translate French into English here, but if she's, I'm basically saying is that she's saying, do you ever go up to somebody and say that, and you feel the presence of angels around some stranger or a friend when you're with your friend? How many people feel angels around a friend or somebody out there, maybe a complete stranger, like she's saying? She goes up to somebody, might not even know them on the street of a little town, and say, "Oh, by
Right.
the way, I feel angels around you."
I've been doing that every time I leave my house.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. And some people don't have that happening, but again, everyone's different. There'll be some that have it happening, some that would love to see that happen. Which is beautiful about my audience is that not everyone's having the same experience or having that, so that's okay. I mean, I've not had that happen, but Mary has. So, and some people here say they have, but they've had angels come to them. So we know the angels are out there, and the angels are part of a whole galactic family of light. So when we think about angels in historic information in 3D world, we look at angels as being part of a 3D religious experience. But really, angels have nothing to do with 3D religion. Angels are also part of the galactic experience of light, and they come from angelic worlds where they have families as well. And I learned that a long time ago from my good friend Ashtar Athena, who taught me a lot about the angels from the galactic perspective. Um, let's see here, Jerry. Let's see, I'm just reading comments here.
So Stallion's asking me what they look like. I don't really know what they look like. I can just feel their energy and how vibrant it is.
Mm-hmm. And isn't that the way it works? Sometimes we don't see them, but we feel that there's a presence around of the angels, or even one specific star family, man or woman. They just come invisibly to our room. They just want to see us for a few minutes because they love you and they want to know. That's really why they come. Not so much to to have a cup of coffee. They just want to say, look, we do exist. We're here. As long as you feel my presence, I'm operating in a slightly higher vibrational frequency. That's why physically I'm not being seen. When you, Mary, get to that same frequency as that specific being of light, you see that being of light, correct? You're freezing again.
Yeah. So it's really weird because what they're doing is trying to get me used to their energy. Right? So I'll bring my numbers down, and when they really want to get my attention, they're on full force, like on full force.
You're freezing in the room you're in. Your whole face is frozen, and your words are frozen. Now you're not frozen. I wish that room was not frozen. Now you're good again for a moment. You want to repeat what you're saying because it was like frozen, so the words are.
Okay, so what they do at first is they try to get you to bring up your energy, right, to reach their level. And then if you're not at their level yet, they'll bring it down to meet you. But when they really want to get a message across, you feel the full force of their energy. So I get like drawn to people. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much so. And there are times when I can feel energy, like I'm in a room, like in my own home, and I'll feel the presence of, even though they don't want to show themselves, I can feel the presence of Ashtar Command people here, and they're here, and I can feel the energy because I know they're right here with me near the camera, and then they'll just I know they're not here anymore, they've left, but I just know that we have protection. You have protection of the Anunnaki, your star family. I have protection of my star family that are here physically to protect me because of my mission work. I'm protected. I always have been all my life. I didn't even know it when I was a kid. But ever since I was a kid in Long Island, I know that I had protection now that I didn't realize who it was or what to name it until I got older, How does a kid know that? You're just a kid playing baseball or hockey or soccer or whatever. You're just a kid.
Right.
You're actually freezing again.
Makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder. And this is the whole concept, folks.
Okay, you're going to have to bring me down because
I'm going to bring you down. I'm going to bring you down with the smile happening here. So I will do that. You're smiling coming up, and you're going to be smiling coming down. There you go. Okay, Mary, you guys have a good night. Ray is sleeping, so we'll let that happen. Ray and Mary, the other part of Ray who's sleeping. Thanks, Mary, for coming up, always with words of wisdom and information. Child of Light says, I hope my star family finds me soon. April said they are in the inner earth. Oh, interesting, Child of Light. Well, a lot of our star family doesn't happen to just be from another planet outside the earth, but they are definitely inside the earth. The inner earth people are very highly spiritual beings. And yeah, absolutely. So I hope that happens. And welcome all the people with the blue something. Welcome Jackpot Johnny. Hey, thank you for the gifts there, Jade. We appreciate it. Hey, Zebra, good morning to you as well. My star family resides in the inner earth. Vizella's star family in earth. So some people, like Vizella and others, know that their star family is within the inner earth. Some of you have star family that is from another planet Z out there in another galaxy somewhere, in another solar system. Hey, Lisa, good to see you. Welcome, Linda. Ashley, good to see you out there. Melarian, welcome. What's on the other side of the ice wall? So I like to not use, I tend, for me, I don't even look at the ice wall thing, but I will tell you in Antarctica, there are entrances into the inner Earth. And I also believe in Antarctica, not only do we have scientific studies of bases in Antarctica, in some parts of Antarctica, it's a big area, but there are space cities in Antarctica that the government knows about. And there are areas in Antarctica where the temperature difference is way warmer than being like really cold the way it is in Antarctica. So Antarctica, I feel, is like having a another planet within a planet. So if you look at Antarctica, it always felt weird to me looking at Antarctica as being a part of the Earth. I mean, it is a part of the Earth and it isn't. Why did I say that? Antarctica, with all the information coming out of Antarctica over the most recent years regarding what's there, and some people are really creative with AI regarding Antarctica. But I do believe that Antarctica has ancient civilizations of bases or cities that are no longer inhabited, but they also are, there are cities in Antarctica that are in areas of Antarctica that are protected that humans can no longer, the humans cannot interact with. Our militaries, our governments of the world know of these bases, they know of these cities, and we are not able to, they are not able to interact with them. And these are higher vibrational beings that live on the planet Earth in Antarctica. So Antarctica has entrances into the Earth, but I do believe there are underground civilizations in Antarctica, as well as a few ancient civilizations that exist in Antarctica, separate away from where these scientific study bases have been from all these different countries for many, many years. Love for peace. Thank you. Hello there, Jenna. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. A Child of Light says, my star family are Lyrians. So we're going to bring, hey, Jenna, thank you. Child of Light, we're going to kind of, if you'd like to come up and talk about your star family, it's up to you. Tell us about how you learned about your Lyrian star family, if you want to. Let's see, Jenna, thank you. So, Love for Peace, why don't we see if we can bring you up as a guest and tell you, because you are Indigo Starseed, comedian, DJ, producer, animal lover, all the beautiful things. So there's a lot of people that can learn from other guests here. If you'd like to come up, talk about that, about how beautiful they are, how you became experienced with them. If you wish to come up, just press the guest button and we'll bring you up here on Encounters. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate that. And we're almost at 100,000. We're at 91.4. Let's see, Daisy Dog. I'm not seeing your question. It might be filtered. Okay, let's see here. And we have another beautiful guest, Love for Peace. Welcome.
How are you doing, Commander?
We're doing good. How you doing, brother?
I am doing amazing.
And can I bring you on the camera?
Yeah, that's fine. It's
All right, cool.
yeah,
Cool. Just press the save button and we'll have you on the screen in like a jiffy here.
all right. There we go.
Let's see if the camera should work. It seems to work all the time.
Do I push save on here or just
Yeah, press save. Yeah, press that. Yep. That's the button. There you go, brother. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Good to have you on here.
Thank you.
And so and it's great to talk to beautiful people like yourself that have had experiences like this, because there's a lot of people on my show that wish they could have an experience like you're having. Tell us the history of your background, James, of how it started for you as a person and how they contacted you. How did that happen?
Well, in 2004, I guess it was, I was having all kinds of crazy experiences. Like I'd walk outside and I would get something would tell me look up, and I would look up and I would literally see what looked like stars in the daytime, like flying around things. And
Yeah.
and I was like super into it, and I just had, I don't know if it was like a calling almost. I was every day, that's all I would think about almost, and I would be going outside taking pictures, and I was trying to anybody that would listen to me. I was like trying to get them interested in a way, and like or at least just planting a seed for people, and just
Yeah.
saying so people weren't thinking negative about all the things that, because at the time there was all these movies coming out that were trying to put ETs in a bad light and stuff,
Oh yeah, I
and
remember that. Yeah.
it was almost overwhelming. I was like, and it felt so wrong, all the stuff that was going on, and it was crazy because I got so many, like I'd get downloads at night, and I would try to write down the information I would get, and it was like it was literally pretty much telling me about, just to spread love and positivity, and literally just to show people that love is not as a such a thing that is just like that, like they want it portrayed, sort of, and like it was nuts. When I there was one day I was at the clinic in the morning with my other half, and I saw this light way out over the city in Austin,
Oh wow.
and it kind of just called to me, and like I saw it, so it was so far away, and I like that. I told my girl, I said that light right there is not a plane. It's something it's calling to me. I was like, and I was excited.
Right.
I got goosebumps thinking, talking about it, and it like, and there was a bunch of people. We were waiting for the clinic to open, and there was a bunch of people outside, and I was like, nobody else was seeing it at all. It was just like beaming to me. It was like, and as it got bigger and bigger, you know, I just knew that there was something that it had to do with me. And my girl went into the clinic, and she came out, and by that time it was much closer to us. And
Oh wow.
we got in our car, and we went to drive to the apartment. And as we got maybe 4 blocks from the apartment, it was almost directly overhead, and
Oh
like
my gosh.
it was it was crazy because I saw it as a plane. It looked like a plane for a moment, and then it looked like a UFO at another moment, I mean, it was literally changing right in front of me, and it was like one of those weird kind of flashing things. But
Yeah.
I had written this too. I was just feeling this overwhelming feeling of love. Like we stopped our car in the middle of the road, and there was tears pouring out of our eyes. I felt so much love and it was just amazing, happy feeling. And like
Oh wow.
I stopped. We both got out of the car in the middle of the street, and it was weird because there was 2 or 3 other cars that they did the same thing too. They got out and they were looking at it like, what is that, And I felt such a strange connection, and like I got all this. I was like, I couldn't even hardly talk. I was just crying with happiness, and same with my girl. And she's like, what? She was kind of a little bit tripped out, but she could tell I wasn't afraid. And I got all of a sudden this big message. It's like, we're your family. We love you. We want you to know that you are so loved. And like they were just saying, keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. Don't give up hope. On like it was so weird because it was just like it was almost like it was my own voice almost in my head, but I knew it was
Oh
coming from them,
wow.
and it
Hmm.
was like it was so strange. And I mean, we'd backed up traffic, and people were honking at us, and a lot of people didn't. A lot of people I don't even think saw it, but the other cars that stopped, they all saw it, and they were just looking at it, kind of mesmerized. And I mean, I remember all these cars were going around and honking, and I was totally ignoring them, and I was just looking at it, and and there was just it was such a powerful. I mean, it lasted with me for a couple of days, and
Oh
they
wow.
literally said, we're your family, you're part of us, and we love you. And like that, they wanted me to know that. And literally, when it took off, I couldn't believe. I mean, I knew that I was like a starseed before then, but I didn't
Hmm.
know that was something that I was so connected to like that.
So that ship, James, came over your home,
Hmm.
and they telepathically, the space people in the ship, they telepathically sent you a message through your inner consciousness, correct?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, that's you're a telepathic person anyway. To be able to
Yeah.
receive the message as a human being means that you
Uh-huh.
have an awakened telepathy ability. Have
Yeah.
you talked to them through telepathy as
Um,
well since then?
very minorly. Like they've told me, like there was a couple times that they've actually really saved me and told me not to go somewhere, like pretty much just told me not to do things at certain times. Like I was gonna go somewhere at, at 2 in the morning one time, and I know it was them. They were telling me like very strongly. They're like, do not go. They're like, you need to stay home right now. They're like, we need you where you're at. You need to be where you're at. They're like, you'll have time to go to, or you'll be better served going tomorrow. And like, and I stayed home, and there ended up being a terrible storm, and I'm sure that something bad would have happened had I gone.
Really? Wow.
You
So they actually, this is like the amazing thing about it is they care about you so much they don't want you to get hurt. They know they know the weather pattern of the area,
Yep.
and they're telling you stay home, and you listen to them, which is good. And you're here now to share the story.
and it's like it's crazy because I've always followed my inner intuition. I've known that I had this like this ability, and it's usually always to help others. It's never usually been about helping myself. It's always like
Right.
when others come to me for some reason, like, and it used to bother me when I was younger, like in school and stuff. I'm like, why do people want to come tell me their problems or tell me these things? But
Right.
whatever, I would just start talking, and whatever it was that I would say would be exactly what they needed to hear. And I
Oh
made I
wow.
made a bunch of friends
Yeah.
like that way, and people didn't, because I was ADHD. I still am, and I was really hyper,
Hmm.
and I guess kind of just obnoxious, and this kind of just realizing this connection that I had kind of calmed me down a lot more and made me open my eyes to the fact of wanting to just teach people about love and sharing just how it's not, I guess, where I was at, a lot of people, it just wasn't like cool to be a loving person. It seemed like, it was
Yeah.
ridiculous, and I quickly, just when I found that path, I ate it up. And it's like I had moved to New York actually in '99, and I grew up in Utah actually. And I remember I would hold doors for open for people, and like more so than just, I might wait like 5 seconds if somebody's walking up to hold a door for somebody, and they would look at me like,
Right.
what are you doing? Like,
Right.
and it was just, and it was weird. And in Utah, people are just like, oh, thanks, they're like it's normal. But in New York, it wasn't normal to do things like that. And
So do you
sorry, go ahead.
So, do you think, James, that it seems to me, listening intently to your story, everyone listening to the story, that when the space beings came to you,
Uh-huh.
that had a dramatic impact on who you were as a person, what you were like earlier than that? So, they basically, with their interaction, in some ways, they not only calmed you down, they awakened you they lit up your consciousness in a whole different perspective of who you are, and you can
Yeah,
look back at the old you and say in the mirror, "Oh, that's why I was like, oh, I'm not like that anymore. I don't know what happened. But now I do know that my space family came, helped me elevate my consciousness to a different frequency. And now you're that person that wants to help everybody, which is good
hmm,
because you had a communications with your space family, which enacted your consciousness to awaken and they turned a switch on or something. Not a switch, but you know what I mean.
yes.
And now you're this person that is a starseed awakened. Do you know where your star family comes from? Have they stated where they're from? When the ship came over your house, did they communicate any of that to you?
They didn't actually, and I've been asked that actually a few times, and I don't know why I haven't got into that as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Before I used to just be like, I used to care about animals like just more than anything. All I cared about was, I was always trying to help out animals. And I guess I have kind of a psychic thing with animals. I know what's wrong with them. Like if I'm around them, I do this healing thing that I can like, I meditate. It's kind of like Reiki, I guess, and I can
Yeah.
actually sort of heal things. I brought this dragonfly back to life that was dead, and I mean, it wasn't totally not moving. I put it in my hands and was just concentrating, putting positive energy in it, and it literally came
Yeah.
live in my hands and flew off. And
Really?
I've been able to do this with fish too. I've had a bunch of fish like that, when they jump out of their tank or whatever. I'll come home and they'll find it dried up on the carpet, and I can put it back in the water, and literally try to like put. I think I try to take out dark energy from them and put in light, like white light, and I
Yeah.
just think positive energy, and I'm moving them back and forth in the water, and like I brought them back to life so many times that it's almost, it was unbelievable to myself that, and they're the ones who told me how to do this, because they're literally, this is before they ever came and saw me. But I get this, what I called the download, I guess, and they were telling me how to bring the fish back to life, because I remember the first time I found one, it was a guppy on the ground, and it was dried up. I felt so bad because it had jumped out, and I literally just got this powerful download of just saying, put it in the water, control your breathing, concentrate when you inhale, think about sucking out dark negativity from it, and when you exhale, put in white light, and put in positive energy, and you can heal it, you bring it back to life. And I did that over numerous times, and it was just nuts, because I had a hard time believing it myself, and even like, it's so strange, because I've had to change my whole way of thinking, because like, even like watching your show and stuff, the first, like the old me would have probably not believed you, that you are what you are and stuff, and after, and it's like, I'm so glad I saw your show when I did, because it's like, I just had a different type of thinking, and it's like, you really you can't think the way society wants you to think, or the way that we're programmed to think, and actually, and believe a lot of things, because you're just programmed not to believe them. You're programmed to think that things aren't, that it's not possible, or that we're
Right.
limited.
That's
And it's
right.
like when I first saw your show, it was like, I was always like, it's just, it's really crazy because what is real, and like I know you're just you're all about being a loving person, and like the things that you do and get people to believe. It's like if you don't open your mind a little bit just to make things, you might not, you might miss it, and it's like just
Yeah,
having an open mind made me really understand and learn a whole lot. And now I approach life that way, and it's just it's totally different. There's like things, people
yeah,
that you might never believe in or think that what they're talking about is true. You're surprised when you actually realize, once you actually give it a chance and stuff, and actually understand, you get proven and you get shown things so much that are, that it makes
yeah.
you a better person. It's like
And like
we're
and so you basically not only are a star seed, you will eventually physically meet those people on that ship that came over your house. I know you will. I don't know when, because
hmm
they don't operate in time, as we all know. I always talk about this.
right.
The space people have no concept of time. If they're
Yeah,
going to come and visit you on that ship again, they will. I believe you're really going to. When they're
yeah,
ready to have you do that, you will have that contact, you and your better half. She'll be a part
right.
of the experience when it happens. So you've transformed your consciousness, which is a beautiful
hmm
thing.
Yes.
And we all come from that point of like being skeptical at one point in our lives. And even with all my experiences, I'm a healthy skeptic only in terms of when I see video footage of a spaceship, I analyze it. There's so much AI there. But
Yes.
when it comes to internal consciousness,
Mhm.
your whole consciousness shifts. You can't go out in the world anymore. I know this, Drew. When I go out and I see, things that are, I don't like seeing people laying on the street that are don't have any food or something. Your
Right.
consciousness is that because we are starseed, we are here to assist others. So if that
Yep.
person or that guy or gal is laying there next to a storefront that's empty, I'm going to go up to them and say, "Well, how may I help you?" I mean,
Right.
even though we can't take them off planet to a healing station, we can at least
hmm
try to assist them and help them because that one spectra of light that you are that helps the other person might help. And the fact that you have healing abilities to heal a fish or something like that that was dried up maybe on the carpet, you have your space family gave you the ability to do that. Just
Exactly.
like my space family gave me the ability to do a lot of things that I'm still learning, but most of
hmm
all, being able to take out implants in people's bodies and destroy the
Yeah.
implants. That was something my family gave me recently last year. Nicole's saying I was skeptical when I first met you, Commander. Laugh now, and now I look at Nicole and I say, "Boy, watch out for Nicole." Now, but I analyze everything. See, and
Yeah.
Nicole's, so people that were skeptical of me because of the things I've done and the implants I've taken out. And even I was skeptical of myself. That's how healthy it is. Even me, as a human being, was skeptical. How am I able to take out implants through a live show? And they're over in China somewhere. I'm in here in Connecticut. I'm taking out an
Yeah.
implant. I was initially skeptical of my ability, but when I
Right.
started taking them out and people said, "You took the implant out," I
Yep.
started realizing, just like when you turned and realized you're this other person,
hmm
and you felt much more at peace with yourself. I
Yep.
now am at peace with the fact of over 100 implant removals. I've also come to the conclusion that I have a gift that I accept, my space family gave to me, and I'm not skeptical of it anymore.
It's
Because
like I feel
I'm
like I'd
into,
be wasting my gift if I didn't use it. It's
yeah,
like you got we're given something that you need. It's like it's almost like a requirement. It's like I feel like that's my part of my soul contract or something that
yeah,
that I have to go around and use it, because I feel like I'd be wasting my time and wasting their time if I didn't use something they've given me. And I mean, I can walk down the street and see somebody and look at them and know that they're hungry without talking to them, or know that they're
yeah.
what it is they need, and I'll go up and talk. I've never been afraid to talk to people, but I would always steer clear of certain people. But now it's like if I go by my feeling, and I'll go up to anybody and talk to them. I'll go
Oh, you're
when I go to
freezing,
the gym.
brother.
Oh,
Oh, you're freezing on my screen here.
yeah, you froze on mine too.
I
That's
think
weird.
we've got
Yeah, you're frozen on mine. But can you hear me still?
love for peace. You're freezing. I hope I'm not freezing.
No, you did
Oh,
for a
there you
minute, but
are.
no. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I think it's TikTok does that once in a while. But
yeah.
like you say, all the things you're saying are true, and from your experiences, hopefully, what you just said tonight will help others people that are starseed to
Right.
realize that we all come there at some level in our life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You did something for me that was really amazing. Is for a while there, I was getting I don't know if it was attacked or what, but I was getting radiated. There was radiation coming through. I had a meter, and I'd go to the windows, and it would just go off like crazy. And you said you were sending some ships over my house, and
That's
they
right.
were going to, yeah, and I mean, it is so, that was such a major deal for me because all the animals in my house were getting sick. Me and my girl were both getting sick. We just sold our house actually, and we're moving to Utah here in 2 weeks, which I'm
Oh,
really excited
cool.
because that's where my family is. But you told me that you were sending some ships over the house. They were going to be there for
Yeah.
7 days, and they were going to leave me alone. And I mean, like clockwork, it was so crazy because I mean, to the day that you said that was happening, it stopped. It had been going on for weeks. Like I had my radiation meter would go off every time. I was hanging aluminum up and stuff at the windows to try to block it sometimes, and I mean, it still hasn't came back at all, and I don't expect it to. But they were, whatever it was literally trying to attack me, and I was noticing all kinds of things that would happen, and I think it's just because I'm a positive person and I'm, bringing positive light to people, that they were trying to keep that from happening. And
Yeah,
I mean, it
and
was
what we did
amazing.
was, I remember that too. What I did was, at that time, I this is before I stopped bringing the ships over places. We did
Hmm.
do what we did, and he's saying something that's true. This is a long time ago. This was last, going back
Yep.
last year. But when it
Yep.
happened, he had problems with this other energy, and the command went in there, and we just took him right out. And
It was amazing. I told my mom about it, and my mom was like, I was trying to explain to her, because she's opened up to a lot of things, but like the whole ET thing is a little bit out there for her, but it just I showed her videos of me putting the with the radiation meter, and I showed her now. Look at the radiation meter. I'm like, I'm telling you, this guy, he literally sent these ships over the house, and it stopped it. There was nothing else that I could get to stop it. I tried for weeks, and everyone in the house is just fine now because my mom was gone for a while, and she came back, and I was worried about it going on when she was here because she's 82, and I know she believed it wholeheartedly, and she was just amazed. She's like kind of shook her head. She's like, I don't know how that happened, but it's like it planted the seed in her that that ETs are real and that they're loving, and that that there's some cool stuff going on.
and
That was
and
awesome.
James will never be interfered with again. When I did that last year, at some point, when I did send those ships over,
Hmm.
I stopped doing it because my space family, there's so many things happening off planet they have to prepare the plan for. But at that time, I was doing it, and I would
Yeah.
send ships out. I did this a few times. Now,
Hmm.
I was a little bit skeptical of myself when I started committing to sending ships over places. That's the
Yeah.
healthy part of me. But then when I realized I have the ability naturally to send spaceships anywhere in the world from the
Hmm.
command, I did. And I did it with James, and he's telling his story about that. So I stopped doing it for now until I get the go ahead to do it again when I need
Yeah.
to. But again, like I said, when the command sent the ships over with when it was happening and being affected, how they were being affected, right where he is now, there's no more energy like that. That energy was thrown out off the planet Earth. They're gone.
That,
They're just
that was so
zipped.
powerful. I mean, trees around our house were dying literally, and from whatever was going on. And I mean, and it's nuts because the growth on the trees that was killing the trees has even stopped. Like it's really
Yeah,
nuts. No new trees have got this like infection that had been killing the trees off.
yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind that you did something so major. I mean, that just I already was a believer, but that was just awesome because that was such a big deal to me. Like having my animals
Yeah.
sick and me feeling sick and just
And
all that going
and
on.
I actually didn't know that I affected all these other things like the healing of the trees. Now I didn't heal the trees, but the space people did.
Exactly.
What I
Yeah.
did is send the ships over. Now, but they were able to take care of the animals, the trees. They have the ability to reverse everything and heal everything that is affected.
It was really amazing. It was like,
Yeah,
I mean, it was so cool that, and there's what there used to be rabbits and squirrels and all kinds of stuff in the yard and stuff like that, and
yeah,
they during that time, I mean, they were pretty much had all gone away. For some reason they didn't like the area was poisoned or something, and now it's fine, and we've got rabbits again in the yard, and it's really
yeah,
cool. Like crawfish in our pond, and it's like
yeah.
it's really amazing. It affected the area in more ways than one for sure.
And what the command did, I mean, I have my own abilities that I helped James with, but what I did more so is when the command went there, they cleared all the negative energy out of that area, and they transformed all the energy into a very high vibrational frequency. Everybody, and he's sharing a very true experience. Hey James, thank you so much, man. You've been a pleasure to be on here. It's good to see you again too. You know, everything's freezing again. I think TikTok is freezing again. Hope I'm not freezing. James, hopefully it's not freezing.
There you
James,
go.
we're
There you go.
freezing.
You're
Yeah,
back.
TikTok, they're having their thing. I wanted to thank you, man, for sharing your story tonight and coming back on and telling us how you've transformed from that time when we did send the ships over to your location. I appreciate that. You know, now you're freezing again. Stop freezing the camera. Okay, if I have enough power here, we're going to unfreeze the camera. 1, 2, 3. Please unfreeze so James can speak without being frozen in that facial position. Oh, well, that was weird. Okay. Okay. That was very weird. Something weird just happened. James, we love you, brother. Hey, JP, we got to bring JP on here. Something just weird happened. Okay. You know, I can't make this up, folks. I can never make this up. You know, we're in such a high frequency. Now, you know, he didn't take himself off the program. I didn't touch anything. My hands are here. I didn't press the disconnect button. He's gone. James, I hope you're still there somewhere. That was, you know, I'm getting used to strange experiences for the last 3 years I've been on here. And he's just gone. Let me see here. Andromeda, good question. Let me see. I have to say that James is no longer on here. That he's just disappeared. Man. Did I unfreeze him off the camera? I don't want to take credit for that. You know? Let's see. I got to bring James on for another minute here. James, just for another minute. That was really weird. Minute. Hey, James. So,
How that
so
happened.
when that happened, I'm going to bring on just for another 2 minutes here. I didn't even get to say goodbye or anything. So when I had you on here, you had not been touching your phone, right?
Nope. I was just
James, you
sitting
there?
there, just looking at the phone. Yes, I'm
So
here.
he was
You
looking
hear
at
me?
the phone. Okay, yeah, go on camera just for a minute here. I'm pressing the camera. Okay, let's see if it works. Yeah, there we go. So James and I were getting ready to
In the
close our
same spot.
discussion. We are, and he was not touching his camera. And I don't remember now. I don't even remember what I said. I was saying like good night or whatever. And then I thanked him for being here, and I talked about the spaceships and how everything was healed. And then poof, he was like right off. You didn't even touch your screen or anything.
It was weird.
So I just want to
Sometimes I
thank you.
think
It was weird,
like
but I
that
want
maybe. Thank you.
this.
Oh
I
yes,
think the
yes.
energy
It was
was
weird.
so
I
high
I,
between.
I have no idea what happened.
No, I think our energy is so high that somehow um, I've had this happen before with people. They just poof disappeared off the screen. All right, James, I
That's
want
what
to
it was
thank you for
like to me.
being
All of
here.
a
I
sudden
want to
you
do it
froze.
properly. Yeah, I froze. Yeah,
Thank you so
it could
much.
be TikTok.
Definitely
Yeah,
happy
it was
to.
just strange. Hey, James, thanks for being here. I didn't want to think you were taking on a spaceship. So, well,
I
I hope
appreciate it.
if you are taking on a spaceship, hopefully it's your star family. James, thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
You've been a pleasure,
Thank
man.
you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
And let's see, JP, is JP here? I thought I saw my friend JP. Let's see if JP is on here with us. Let's see. And JP, if you want to come up, please do. And let me see here. I'm going to go backwards. Going backwards. I'm just reading some of the comments here. Welcome to Encounters, and we're glad to have everybody. This is the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon here. Glad to have you all with us. And you're watching, if you're new here, you're watching Encounters, a show that's out of this world, busting the matrix, all about disclosure. Yugal, good to see you. Let me see here. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, please do come up. You must be over 18, an adult, and also no smoking, no vaping, no drinking on the show, no paranormal discussion, no religion, and no politics. So we're going to do this thing here. Let me see. Okay, I just sent my friend JP, and no cursing. I just sent JP a invite. We'll see if JP is in here. Hey, Avion, good to see you. Good evening. Good evening. And all the people coming in here, welcome to the show. Tara Renee, Jojo, welcome Jojo. Maria. Yes, good evening. Yeah, Avion, yes, you may come up. Let me bring you up here on the screen. Good evening in spirit of Yaya. Good evening, sister. Always good to see you. I love God. Good evening. Joy, good evening. Christy, 8043. Good evening, Connie. Welcome. Hey, Maria, 63. Hello. Jody, in the light. I like that, Jody, in the light. That's really good. Hey, Cindy. Van Z, good to see you. Hey, Stallion, welcome back. Lady Bug in, I think, Missouri. Lost on Purpose. I like that. Lost on Purpose. That's a good name. Hey, Johnny Blaze, good to have you with us. Steve Bent. Okay. Hey, dude, good to see you. Ronaldo, good to see you as well. I don't think you remember me. Jerry Gringo 4. Give me some background. That's been, so many people on here. Hi from Jersey, UK. Hey, cup of tea. I like that name. Susie. Hey, Susie. Jill D. Baker. Welcome to the show. Nettie. Okay, let's try to get you on here. Let me try to do this again. I just pressed Avion. There we go. There we go. Good evening. How you doing? Good morning.
Can you see me?
I'm going to put the camera here. I just pressed the button. Just press
Okay,
save.
I'm not good with this, but I'm not good with this. My first time doing it. Let me see.
Okay, it'll work.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to
And
see if I have a. Can
you
you
have a.
scan me?
Yeah, I can do that. If you put the save button, I can do that. I'm
Well,
pressing the
save.
save.
Okay.
There you are. All right, sister. How you doing?
Good.
Good to
It's
have you
my
with us.
first
And
time ever doing this.
well, this is good. Everyone has their first time with me on the show, so we appreciate you. And tell me a
Okay.
little bit where you are, and tell me a bit of your background as to
Okay.
what might have been happening with you.
Okay. Well, I live in Montgomery County in Pennsylvania, but I'm from Georgia. And when I was younger, I saw a UFO. My cousin and I, we ran and we hid inside this building called the Y, and it was so amazing. It was big, bright lights. It was moving. It was so swift, and we stayed in there for a while because we was afraid to come out, thinking it was going to get us. But so we just stayed there, and then finally, after a long time, we decided to run as fast as we could without looking back to see, hopefully that we can make it back home safely. And
Hmm.
then a while ago, I'm gonna say about a couple months ago, I don't know if it was a little UFO or something, but it was surrounded like a car or two next to me. And I
Yeah.
just jumped back in the car and laid on the floor because I was too scared to run. but it had bright lights on it and everything. And I was scared to videotape it because I didn't want it to come too close to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the
So
way, as you're talking, can we turn the TV off if that's
yeah,
possible?
let me go into the other room.
Okay. Okay, and we'll have to keep the kid off the screen, or else I'll be in trouble.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me go into the other room. Hold on.
Yeah. So we're gonna have her go in a more quieter room,
Okay. Yes.
and yeah.
Let me.
You're watching Encounters. This is the late night talk show.
Okay. Let me put this thing on my head so I won't look too foolish. Okay. Yeah. And then, so I was scared to take a picture of it because I didn't want it to come near my car. I was shaking. I couldn't believe I was actually seeing something weird like that. And
Yeah.
then
So yeah.
house.
Yeah. So you'd asked me a few times on here about scanning you for what, implants.
Yeah.
Okay.
You use another terminology.
Well, what I do. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Implant.
yeah.
Implant.
So and I'm pronouncing it right. Avion, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your actual first name, if I may ask?
Avion.
Avion is your first name.
Avion.
Okay, good. Avion. Okay. I just want to make sure I pronounced it correct. So I want to let people know who are watching this that we're going to scan Avion. She had mentioned to me about potentially having possibly an implant. What we call an implant is a implant put in by extraterrestrial intelligence, not of the higher vibrational kind. So if you've never seen me do this, folks, before, understand this is why my show is what it is. It's not your straight-laced UFO show saying, when was your sighting? Do you think we're going to have disclosure? Do you believe in UFOs? My show is about the spiritual aspects of the whole ufology. My whole thing is about people that are contactees, people that are potential abductees. I get into things that other people will not do. Well, the reason why, I've been given a gift by my star family to actually remove implants remotely. I've done over 100 plus implants, and I don't even count them anymore since last year. So, Avion, I'd be happy to do this. What you're going to see happen is I'm just going to scan her, and I'm going to see if she has any implants. And if she does have any implants, I will be able to take the implants out, remove them, and destroy them. You won't see the implants being removed. She will feel the implants being removed. So if you're ready to do this, and I have your permission to do this, what we're going to do is have you close your eyes. I want you to relax where you're sitting. And as you close your eyes, I want you to breathe in and breathe out of your nostrils about 3 or 4 times. And when I do this, folks, I want you to know that I usually charge $2 million per client. I'm just kidding you. But what I do is I do this for free. My family gave me the ability to do this. UFO, UOP, yes, absolutely. I've been given the ability to do this, and I do exactly this. I'm able to remove implants. I don't have a neon sign behind me saying pay me $200 for implant removals. I do this because it's real, because I've been gifted. It's part of my mission work, besides doing a whole show on the subject. All right, so now you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So, Avion, when you're relaxed, please tell me. Avion, are you with me? Oh, good.
Yes.
All right. So what we're going to do is I wanted to make sure you weren't sleeping, because I can do that too for people, but that's not what I want to do. So anyway, she's relaxed. That's good. And in a minute or two, you're going to start feeling energy. I'm starting to have the heat coming out of my palm of my hands. Green eyes, good evening. And as I have the palm of my hands and the heat coming out, we're going to be sending energy. I can start feeling her aura around her head. And Avion, when you start feeling the energy coming over you, let me know. Take your time, relax. Okay.
Yes.
So she feels it now. We're going to scan her. And when I come to what is an implant, potentially if you do have any implants, what you're going to tell me to do is stop. I'm going to be actually scanning her whole physical body. I'm starting with the head area. We're going to go slow. And as I scan her, I'm scanning her neck area, also the spinal column area. I'm also scanning the arm area, the shoulder area. And I will scan things. I'll go down slowly and then back up. And as I now increase the light energy into her body, beams of light are being used to scan her body. We're scanning her for potential implants.
Yes.
Now I'm going to go through the lower spine to the upper spinal column of her body. Give me a second here. We're going to amp up the energy.
Yes.
Amping up the energy. And the reason I'm doing this into her body is to find the implant, because the implant cannot hide from my energy. My energy is very, very high right now. Very, very high right now. As I scan her, okay, right around here. I'm near the neck area, and I'm putting a lot of energy in here to force any implant to reveal itself in her body. And what Avalon will do is tell me I've just hit an implant. So when I've hit an implant and I think I'm getting close, you're just going to tell me to stop, right?
I felt one. I felt
Right there? Right there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm going to neutralize the implant. That's where I've been feeling a lot of energy. That is on the upper part, on the back area where your neck is, right below your head area, right there. It's like right there. And I can feel the whole thing. So I'm going to neutralize the implant.
Yes.
I'm going to separate the implant with the beams of light. I'm going to start taking out the implant. When I take out the implant on the right end, I split it. Then I'm going to take it out on the left end. So maybe I split it, and so I can pull the implant out. And as I pull on the implant, she'll feel the pull. It will not hurt her. It doesn't hurt anybody when I take it out. I will shake the implant a little bit just to feel the vibrational patterns of energy from it. And Avion, when you feel the energy is being pulled out, the implant being pulled out, let me know.
Yeah.
And as soon as I have it out, let me know I have it out.
Yeah, I feel it.
No. Okay, and we're going to pull it out.
Yes.
When it's out, tell me. Okay, I'm taking the other side of the implant out of her body. I'm going to destroy this side, please. Give me a second. I'm going to pull the other side of the implant that I severed. What you're seeing now live on my program is that I am destroying an implant that's in her body and taking the other part of it out. Almost. I have complete control of the implant. The implant is neutralized.
Yes.
Almost out. Almost out. Still pulling on it, but it's almost out. I'm going to shake it, just the last end of it. I'm shaking it right now so she feels it. It doesn't hurt her. Almost. And the last part of it right here, I'm going to neutralize it and also disintegrate it.
Yes.
When it's out, Avalon, let me know, please.
I feel pulling.
You feel pulling? You said pulling, correct? Yeah, I'm pulling the rest of it out right now. Is it out?
Yes.
It's out? Okay, hold on a minute.
Yeah, I felt it.
Okay, you gotta make.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm okay.
No. I'll bring it down. Let me bring it down for a minute. Okay. I brought it. I had to bring her down because the kid. So I took her right down. I don't want to have any problems with TikTok. Avalon, we're gonna have to bring you up to do the remainder of what I need to do here. So I had to be very quick on the key there. Hey, Roxy, good to see you. Good to see you. When she gets, I'm gonna have to bring her back up. If not tonight, I need to bring her back up tomorrow night because the algorithm would have really been right on my case with the kid on there. So hopefully there's no problems. Tamara, thank you. Roxy, yes, and we will definitely do that for sure. I'm gonna bring UFO UAP up, and then I'm gonna sign off for tonight. Avalon, if you're hearing me, we want to bring you back up tomorrow night just to complete the healing process of this whole thing. And let me see here. Here he is. Yeah, the kid probably didn't know what was happening. Yeah. All right, so we're still here. We have UFO UAP, my friend. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hello, Commander. How's it going?
Good. I had to take my person on off the air because of the kid, being near the
Oh,
screen. So tell us a little more. We showed another video that's new from May 25th from Colombia. It's pretty amazing. That's the second orb showing up out there.
that's right. Another one came today, and they have a video of that, and it's exactly the same sphere. But
What do you think's happening, brother? What do you think? I mean, this is pretty amazing. I
the
think
time has come.
yeah,
The time has
they're
come.
saying this is it.
Yes,
We're going to start with these little orbs, but wait, we got big spaceships you haven't seen yet, right?
yes. So they're coming. Those spaceships that you guys have never seen, they're coming. But Jaime Maussan just released all the information with X-rays about that sphere, and they have found two pictures in it, digital pictures, I guess, and they decoded it, and they show that it was them. It came from the Pleiades, and they put pictures of my brothers of light. They put a picture of Gabriel on that video, so I just copied it and I posted it on my profile so you guys could see that
So
that sphere belongs to us.
and Jamie Wissan, who's very well respected in the field of ufology, he takes everything he does seriously. When he examined this, and the fact that you just explained for the first time on our show of any UFO type talk show in the world, right here, you're saying, Jamie Wissan, that these metallic orbs are coming from ships from the Pleiades, and they are the Pleiades, and they confirmed. How did they confirm it was a Palladian orb? Can you tell us that?
He didn't say how they knew, but
Yeah,
I'm guessing because of the pictures that they found inside, and the
yeah,
picture was explaining to them what the sphere is, and the
yeah.
sphere is an antenna for humans to communicate with them. That's what the sphere says on
Ah,
that picture.
so it's
It's an
saying
antenna.
that. So how does and this is interesting. Now I'm not saying you know the answer. Or I know the answer because else I wouldn't be asking the question. And if you don't know the answer, it's fine too. But even though we're enlightened and we have knowledge, how do we communicate using the orb with the Palladians? That's the $1 million question, right?
Maybe one of us needs to turn it on. Maybe if
Yeah,
I go to Colombia and I can put my Merkaba in it, I can
yeah.
probably activate it and we can communicate with them directly to their ships.
Or or maybe like let's say hypothetically you and I were in Colombia and we were at the place where that orb was. And let's say just by touching the orb, because we are not from here, we have the ability, because we came from outer space, we're still in human form, but because we are like that, right? We touch
Yes.
the orb, and we are able to turn it on and communicate with the orb, with the Palladians through that orb. That's
Yep.
pretty amazing. And again,
I say
folks,
we
I'm
go to
being very
Colombia, Commander.
hypothetical.
How
I don't
about we
have the
go to
money.
Colombia? Me and you. We could take a flight down to Colombia next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I wish I had the time. I have a family and commitments, and that would not happen very quickly. But yeah, no, I think that would be amazing. As a matter of fact, if you're able to go, I mean, I'd go if I could. But if you're able to
Yes, sir.
go, I would love you to document that if you get to touch the orb and see if that manifestation occurs. That would be kind of interesting to talk about here.
That would be beautiful. And then
You
only God
know,
knows what else comes after that.
that's right. Only God knows, right?
But
Speaking
that's
of
what they
which,
released just about an hour ago. So I took a copy of it and I made a video from that news release that Jaime Maussan did with that
yeah,
scientific guy sitting there. So I copied the video and I posted it on my profile for people to see that the spheres belongs to us. And he
yeah.
said it. He was explaining it, so I just translated it into English.
Oh, good. And let's try to get him. We talked about this. I'm very proactive with my media background. Let's see if we get him on TikTok somehow, and somehow get him through what do they call that thing where you can take somebody on another camera. I think it's called Zoom, or Zoom is
Yep, yep, yep,
Zoom.
yep.
And then if he's on Zoom, put him on the camera here through the Zoom with another camera, and we can actually communicate with him on the show here.
So I sent him a message yesterday. We
Yeah.
communicate via email. So I sent him an
Yeah.
email, and I spoke to him about you.
Oh, what do you
He
say?
hasn't He hasn't responded yet. So it's been one
Okay.
day. So hopefully he
It's
responds
only one
tomorrow.
day.
Yeah, I did that
Oh,
yesterday in the afternoon. So I know he's really busy working on the Boogosphere. But as soon as he sees the message, he always replies. But it takes
yeah.
about a week or so because he's in
As
Mexico
we
and that
were.
guy is very very busy. But
No,
you
I
just
know
got to
he
give
is.
him
I know he
time.
is.
Because he's been doing this for too long, longer than us. And then he knows what
Yeah.
he's doing. So I don't want to
Oh, he'll.
interfere in the investigations.
I'm pretty sure he'll. I don't expect it to be one day. So, and when when he has a chance to look at it, as we were talking in the bathroom, my app went on and said something. I have no idea what it said. It's in the other room right behind me, and
Huh.
we were talking about this, and it said something. And so I'm not going to ask it any questions because I don't want to wake anybody up in the house. But hey, hey brother, thank you for being here. You're not only a friend, but you are a person that's not only a contactee, but you are bringing firsthand information to the show regarding this, and I think it's important. So I
We're
want to thank you,
family,
man. Your family, right? Absolutely,
and thank you
absolutely.
for bringing me up. And any updates, I'm gonna post them on my profile, and I'll let you know.
Thank you, and that's why we are what we are here. No ego. We're here for the mission work. I'm one of those
Yep.
talk show hosts that's been in the media a long time, but I've never lost sense of who I am, and I never let things get to my head and say, "Wow, now I'm really popular." I don't care about that. I care about the truth. You know,
I love that. I love that. That's what it's all
that's all I
about.
care about.
It's all about the love and
But
the light.
and also, I want to get my big Tesla car that's worth $1 million and change myself into a three-piece suit and saying, "Hey, who are you?" I'm just kidding, folks.
I know it's funny, but it's
All
cool.
right,
It's
my friend.
beautiful. Beautiful things are coming, Commander.
They are. They are, everybody. We do have a lot of good things coming, regardless of people out there that don't understand what's going on. And people in the UFO community need to understand, because we have a big community, and not
Yep,
everybody in the community on media, on YouTube, or whatever, all think the same way. Nor should they absolutely do that, because then we'd be all the same. But
that's cool.
people need to understand, if you're UFO community, it's not about just disclosure it's not even about disclosure from any government. It's about us realizing that we're those that depend on UFO talk shows to get interviews with people about disclosure in the government. It doesn't matter anymore about the
Yep,
government. The government doesn't matter.
yep.
No government matters
Nothing.
when it comes to the subject. These people, if you let the government take control of the subject, we're never going to know the truth. We don't need to know the truth from them, because they don't know they know what the truth is. They're never ever going to tell it. You
Never.
know,
They block it
it's
and they
people that
lie.
it's like people like my friend UFO UAP and other people that are having these experiences. Want to know what the truth is? The people that are out there really wanting to make sure that we know what's coming from the skies, who the space people are. We don't need to get it from the government. We don't need to have the
Oh,
government who the space people are. Commander, may I ask you a question? Sober to fitness, absolutely, you can do it. Hey, brother, I want to let you go. I'm going to be winding down here and get myself out of here before it's too late. And
thank you,
have a
Commander.
great night. All right,
Love
brother.
you
We'll see
guys.
you.
See you. Good night.
All right, we're going to let him down. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, come on up for a moment. Sober to fitness. And we're going to be going to sleep in a minute, folks. It's now 1:31 on the East Coast. So, yeah. And thank you. We got 122,900. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for the likes. If you haven't liked the show, press the red button for the follow, plus the follow button. Everybody, if you're not following me, press the follow button. Avion, thanks for being here. Avion, we're going to bring you on tomorrow night. I want to complete the process that I wasn't able to do because you had the baby, so I had to take you off with the kid on there. Anyway, actually, I'm going to be calling it a night. I would like to answer questions, so I'll wait till tomorrow night when I'm more awake. I want to thank everybody for being here. I'd say my love to everybody. Thank you for the share and the love and everything else that goes on with it. You've been watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO show. Go to my YouTube channel. He said he saw the Archangel Gabriel. Yes. All right. We'll take that question tomorrow night. And we will see you all tomorrow night. I will definitely get back to the questions that I wasn't able to get to and everything else. So everybody have a great night. Be well and take care.